All right, Doug here with the Daily BS. Right now we're heading to Cookeville, Tennessee to podcast with Rich Froning. So I figured while sitting in the car, could answer one of our Daily BS questions. I got a question over email from a younger guy who had gone through an entire football season and had hurt his shoulder in the process, but kept playing and kind of toughed it out for the remainder of the season. Oh, shit. I'm going to get a little zoom in on Bledsoe. That wake you up? Okay. So anyway, the guy had hurt his shoulder through a football season, and then now that he's out of the season, he wants to still train, but he wants his shoulder to heal up. And the doctor told him to take a couple weeks off, but he still wants to be able to do something. So what I would advise you to do in that situation is to still, obviously, you can train your legs pretty hard, your entire core area, and then also your other arm, if it's totally fine, you can still do other presses, one arm presses with kettlebells or dumbbells, one arm rows again with kettlebells or dumbbells. For your legs, you could probably still squat, front squatting or back squatting. Either one of them might hurt, or both, depending on what exactly is wrong with your shoulder. If you have specialty bars like a safety bar or a giant cambered bar, then you can use those. Those are pretty easy on your shoulder. I personally prefer to use the safety bar. That's the easiest on my shoulder. I had a shoulder surgery a couple years ago, and that was a tool that I used quite frequently that worked great as I was rehabbing my shoulder. Also, for overhead movements, overhead barbell work, either pressing or jerks, or overhead pulling movements like pull-ups tend to be harder on your shoulder compared to forward and backward pressing and pulling like push-ups and rows. So as your shoulder heals and you want to start doing more normal training with that shoulder, you're going to want to start progressing through rows like one-arm rows, dumbbell rows, barbell rows, ring rows, and then also horizontal pressing, starting with push-ups, maybe push-ups on the rings, and then eventually into bench pressing or dumbbell pressing, and then you can progress back to the Olympic movements and overhead lifts as your shoulder starts to feel better. So a couple of quick tips to get you started. Thanks, guys.